NieR Replicant version 1.22 is a very important game, for three reasons: the continuation of the Draken franchise, the validation of Yoko Taro's games appealing to a mass audience, and the possibility of Square Enix resurrecting some of their more obscure franchises. Starting with the most obvious point for fans of this series to get new NieR games and hopefully get remakes of the Drakengard games, Replicant has to sell as many copies as NieR Automata, if not more, along with the fact that the Draken series hasn't proven itself to be the most stable when it comes to sales, with Drakengard 1, 2, and 3 not reaching 1 million sales combined, and the original NieR not being able to push the series past 1.5 million. It's honestly amazing that Automata was able to sell over 5.5 million as of February 2021. But I think Square is looking for the series to show some consistency with the sales in the multi-millions, in addition to testing if there's a market that actually wants to play the older games within the series, which if they do decide to remake the older games within the series, there'll be a bigger project than NieR version 1.22, with them completely overhauling the ground combat in Drakengard 1 and 3 and then repeating that process with Drakengard 3's aerial combat. Also, they'll definitely have to upgrade the visuals to be on the same level as the two most recent NieR games, but that all depends on the sales numbers of the game. So moving on to Yoko Taro himself. This game is personally important to him and the health of his career from this point onwards. With the massive push that he's gotten within the industry after the release of NieR Automata, with him being the creative director for two highly publicized mobile games, Sin No Alice and NieR Reincarnation, then getting the opportunity to be the scenario director for the NieR Dark Apocalypse questline within Final Fantasy XIV, it's very obvious that Taro has a lot of people on his side and they want him to do well. But considering what I talked about in the first part of the video, it all comes back to this game being received and selling well, so he can solidify his name to a bigger audience within the industry. I believe this is a test from Square Enix to see if Taro's name has marketability in the wider gaming landscape. With gamers being smarter than they ever have been, they pay attention to the people making their games and not just the company behind them. With Hideo Kojima, Cory Balrog, Tetsuya Nomura, Yoshi P, and many other names becoming almost as important as the games themselves. For example, Neil Druckmann has significant creative control over the Uncharted and Last of Us series. Then following the release of Last of Us 2, which received mixed opinions from gamers and critics alike, could lead to him being used less within the development and promotion of Naughty Dog's next game. Plus, the reason why I'm making this point is that game directors are almost at the point of being like movie directors, where their name could sell people on buying a game that they have no interest in. Christopher Nolan is a great case of this, with his work on the Dark Knight trilogy making people interested in Inception, Interstellar, and Tenet. And Square Enix has used this tactic themselves recently within Final Fantasy VII Remake, when they named Tetsuya Nomura as one of the co-directors of the game, when his actual role was closer to a creative director, which is now his official role for Final Fantasy Remake Part 2. So hopefully Taro can get into a role similar to Nomura, which will allow him to have his hands into more projects and give him more creative leeway on the projects that he directs, along with the possibility of this game making Square Enix reach into their deep bag of franchises that have seemingly been forgotten. I could see Square Enix going through a renaissance period within the company, bringing back properties like Chrono, Musashi, Parasite Eve, Valkyrie Profile, and many more, which I believe Square wants to do, as indicated by the release of Left Alive, which is a game set in the Front Mission universe. And honestly, it just makes sense to not rely on Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, and Dragon Quest so heavily as they have been in the last couple of years, because all it takes is one bad game in the series or a string of bad games and then they have completely killed one of their biggest moneymakers, and they don't want to be in that position. So hopefully with NieR having back-to-back successes, it might cause Square to go back and take chances on some of their more inconsistent or seemingly forgotten franchises. But don't forget to hit the subscribe button with notifications turned on to see more videos like the two on screen right now, and to be ready for my NieR Replicant version 1.22, Stormblood, and Shadowbringers analysis videos when those release. But with that being said, it's been Skipx and I'm out.